Welcome to eLearning Out Loud. My name is Joe Suarez, and as I promised in the last video, I'm going to create some video thumbnails for this channel. Let's take a look at what I did. In Photoshop, I put together this template that I'm going to use for future thumbnails on future videos. So the way it started is I took a video of myself in front of this wall that I wanted to point my camera at something interesting. I didn't think it would necessarily become my signature look, but it is, so I'm just gonna roll with that. I did some different poses because that's what YouTubers do in their thumbnails is kind of point to their thumbnail descriptions and all that kind of stuff. So I thought I would try that. Really didn't turn out well, except a few. And this one where I'm pointing my thumb behind my back worked out okay. So I went with that. So I knew I wanted to include the wall in my thumbnails, but something that was very subdued and in the background. And the way I thought I could do that is with a color overlay layer. So I turned that on and changed the, gosh, what do we call this? Blending mode. Okay, yeah, usually don't call them by name. So from normal, where it's just, a color fill, to multiply. That's a nice one when you want things to preserve the darkness. And then to just kind of get the browns out of the photo, I changed the photo layer itself from normal to luminosity and then put a white layer behind it. And if we turn the color overlay layer off, you can see that effect really takes the browns out and reduces it to black and white. And with the blue, then we have a nice dark blue background of my wall. The next step, I knew I wanted a border. I was looking at different thumbnails that people have, and I really like when they have a border around them. So I wanted to do that. Just created a shape with a nice 30 pixel stroke, and I thought that turned out nicely. So, and with that together, we have a very chill background waiting for something to pop out at us. And that's what I did up in the title. So if we look at that group, what we have is starting with a shape. These first two colors were the main colors in my personal branding. What's absent from my personal branding is a nice accent color, so I just went with this green that really goes well with the blue and added some black text on top of that as a title. Then as kind of a subtitle on top, I have this white text, and in anticipation of having videos that will be part of a series, I have this part 1 as a placeholder. Because I'm going to be so heavy in video tutorials, I also wanted to include a logo of the tool that I'll be talking about. And in many cases, I think I will have different workflows described where you start in one tool and you move into another. For example, capturing something in Camtasia and then bringing that into Premiere for more advanced video editing. Just kind of have this placeholder here as to represent that. I could also do some tool comparisons, maybe something like Adobe Captivate compared to Articulate Storyline, and I could change this to a versus or something like that. That would do very well. And the last part, and I really went back and forth with whether I really wanted to include this or not, was a photo of myself. So here's one of those still shots that I was talking about that turned out okay. And the first thing I did was remove the background. I'm like 95% happy with my lighting that I've got set up now. The only problem is I don't have a nice, was it backlight, hair light, whatever it's called, that will accent my hair and really draw out my brown hair from my brown background. It's not a huge deal unless you're trying to do something like, oh, I don't know, isolate yourself from a background. So made that a little challenging. I wanted to also make myself pop out from the background, so I duplicated that layer and did a white color overlay and blurred it a bit and turned the opacity down to about 50% and moved it over a few pixels. So now we have me popping out of the background. And when we turn our title text back on and our placeholder, that's pretty much my video thumbnail template that I came up with. And I had a lot of fun with the thumbnail for this actual video. I selected all and copied all the layers and then brought that into a new file like that and transformed it down a bit, did some perspective on it to kind of angle it. like that, and then did a little magic to put myself in front of it and put a little text at the bottom with the Photoshop icon as well. So my channel is coming together. I've got my branding up. I've got video thumbnails for all of my future videos ready to go. I've got my lighting situation and my video quality improving with every video. I've got tons of things in store for 2021 as far as different video tutorials on different tools of the trade for all things e-learning development. So if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to that channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.